This is the Chromalox Training for Insightly video number 3, and in this video today we're going to be covering custom views, filtering, and your user settings. So let's jump in and take a look in Insightly. In Insightly, you have the opportunity to set up different ways to view the data for different record types. So when you're on the home page, you can come up and select different views by clicking on this button and then selecting the view that you'd like to see. In tasks, you can do the same thing by clicking up here and selecting one of the current task views that are already created or creating a custom one. The same is true for contacts, organizations, leads, opportunities, and projects. So each in these custom views, you'll be able to customize what it appears in each of the columns, and you'll be able to put up custom filters to be able to show what you really want to do. So let's start out today by setting up a custom view for opportunities. First up, I think it's important to note that there's different ways that you can view your saved views. So if you notice up here where it has this grid, you can choose to look at it in a grid view, which is what you're seeing here with columns, or you can also choose to look at it in what's called a Kanban view. And this is just going to show you via pipeline where all of your different opportunities are. Okay, so it's up to you on which view you prefer. These are both containing the same data. All right, now let's talk about how to actually set up your own custom view. So to do that, you'll click on this gear here and go down to where it says Add New List View. I'm just going to name this one Sample for now. And then you notice that you have the option to just keep it for yourself or to be able to share it with everyone. I'm going to keep this one just for me right now, and I'll go ahead and save the list view. This is what comes standard in the list view for opportunities, but it doesn't mean that this is what you have to keep. So now that we've created the list view, when I come up and click on the gear again, I'll now have the ability to choose the columns, group them, rename them, all kinds of different options. But let's start with choosing the columns. So what you're seeing here is the visible columns and the order that they're currently in. Everything that's over here on the opportunity side can be added to those visible columns. So let's say that I wanted to add in the bid currency or the bid amount. I could select that and then just move it over. If there's something that I didn't want, like let's say that I don't need the responsible user, then I can push it back over to the other column. You can also choose the order in which these appear. So let's say that we wanted to have this forecasted close date move up, then you just click the little button here and have that move up. And then you can click Save Columns. Now, if you notice, I've changed the view here to what I wanted to see. There's a few other things that you can do as part of this view as well. Like you can go to where it says Group Columns. And if there's something that you wanted to group by, like let's say forecasted close date, you can drag that up to the top and it will reorder it so that all of the ones with the same forecasted close date are grouped together. So there's several here that don't have a date, and that's why they are listed as blank. But then as we scroll down to the next couple pages here, you'll start to see where they get grouped. Okay, so now you can see how they're grouped together. Like there's 3 of them that have the forecasted close date of November 29th. If you don't like that, then you can always exit back out and have it appear the other way you want to. A couple of other things to note on the views is that you can choose which one you want to sort by. So let's say that you wanted to sort by opportunity value. Then I could click on opportunity value and choose to have it sort in ascending or descending order. So that's also helpful to help you find what you're looking for. As part of this custom view, you can also now add in some filters to be able to make it look the way that you want it to look as far as what data is displaying. So to do the filters, click on the little filter button here and add a filter row. If I only want to see the opportunities that are currently open, I'll want to filter for those. So I'll come over here to the filter section and choose current state is equal to open. Add that. And we'll sort those so that now I have a much smaller group of opportunities to look at. You can further refine it by adding in another filter row if you like. And now if you notice, it's going to give you the option for and or. So if you put in the word and, your list of people is going to get smaller. If you put in or, your number of responses there is going to get larger. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's say that I wanted to look at open opportunities that were created on or after July 1st of 2017. Then what I do here is I'm going to put in an and then I'm going to put in the date created, and that is called the opportunity created. And then here in the modifier, or the operator, I'm going to select greater or equal to, and then we'll come back here to January 1st. So there's a lot of things that you can do to continue to filter down, but when you're looking at creating a view for yourself, you want to keep those filters in mind so that you are getting just the data that you're looking for. You may personally have more than one filter or more than one view to be able to see the things that you are commonly searching for with different filters and displays. This process is the same process that you would use for creating views for any of the other types of records. So it's the same if you wanted to create some filters and custom columns for contacts, for example. So you can do that for all of these different record types. Next, let's take a look at your user settings. To get to your user settings, you're going to come up to the upper right-hand corner and click on the picture. Then scroll down to where it says User Settings. In here, you'll see that there is another menu here on the left-hand side. We're going to go ahead and start at the top. And again, I want you to be doing the same thing as you are looking at your Insightly account. So you're welcome to pause the video if you need to make sure that the information that you have is up to date. So we'll start here with the user details. And you'll come in here and put in what your name is. If there's anything else like your time zone that needs to be adjusted or your currency that needs to be adjusted, you can do that and then click Save User Details. Next, we're going to look at your email account. Having your email connected to Insightly enables you to be able to send emails from Insightly by initiating them by clicking on a contact's email address. And then it will open up your Outlook account and it will already have the name of or the address of the person in there. If you see here, I'm on Janet's account and she is already connected with her email. If you are not connected, what you will see looks like this. And you'll need to select Office 365 or Outlook and then go ahead and fill in the rest of your information. Okay. Next down, let's look at your email signature. So here you can put in an email signature and this will appear on any email templates that are sent from Insightly, as well as any workflow emails that are sent from Insightly. If you would like to include a picture, you will have to use the HTML, which is located up here, but you do have some standard formatting options and the ability to add links here in your email signature. We'll be discussing the mailbox on a different video, so I'm going to skip over that now and go to User Settings. Here in User Settings is where you can do some more general settings that will apply to the rest of Insightly. So for example, the email address links in Insightly, you want that to make sure it's checked to go out to include your Insightly mailbox address in the BCC field. That's so that an email will be saved in Insightly. Okay, then you can also choose if you would like to save file attachments to Insightly and all of these other mailbox settings. If you want to receive reminders for tasks that have due dates, then you can set that up here and you'll receive an email reminder for every single task that has a due date on it. Okay. A couple of other things here, you'll see just some of your default settings. Once you have this the way you like it, you can just click Save User Settings. Next down is following and notifications. Let's start talking about following first. So in Insightly, you can choose to follow different records, which means that the yellow star next to them will be highlighted, and it also means that you would have the ability to receive notifications when things change on the records that you're following. So following and notifications really go together. Let's start by looking at following. So these are the types of things that you might want to receive notifications of later on. So if you wanted to receive notifications on records that you create or update or comment on, you could check the boxes here. If you wanted to look at records that are assigned to you, then you would select those here, and records that you assign to other people. If you feel like you're getting way too many emails, it's in this area that you need to go in and make adjustments to what you're following, and also on the next section, which is what you're receiving notifications of. If you would like to receive more emails off from what's going on in Insightly, this is also where you would come and make those adjustments. I'm going to go ahead and save the following settings for now. And let's take a look at notifications. So for notifications, this is when you want to receive emails. So based on the types of records that you're following, when do you want to receive emails? So if you wanted to receive an email when a task reminder becomes active or when a new lead is assigned to you, then you would check these two boxes here. Okay, so again, this is just dealing with the emails, and following is what types of records you'd want to receive emails on. I'm going to go ahead and save that for you here. The final section that we're going to be looking at today in the user settings is the calendar sync. So with the calendar sync, you have the ability to take the tasks and the events that are saved here in Insightly and push them to your Outlook calendar. It's totally optional on if you would like to do that. One caveat of warning is that Insightly does not replace your Outlook calendar. The main reason for that is because you will not be able to invite other people to events that you've created here within Insightly. So that function will still need to happen through your Outlook calendar. But if you would like to sync your tasks and your reminders over to your calendar, then what you can do up here is just select that you want to use your Exchange calendar, and then it will tell you the things you want to select. So for you, you would want to choose your tasks. We're not really using milestones for Chromalox, so there's no reason to select that one. And then you would click Save Calendar Sync Settings. If you notice down here, this is just refreshing what we have already set up through the email settings, so we make sure that we're using the correct account. I am not going to save that for now. I personally don't like to have it synced to my calendar because it gets too overwhelming with tasks and appointments, but that is an option that's available for you if you wish to. Okay, and that concludes our training today on setting up custom views, filtering, and the system settings for users. Thanks so much.